What is going on, everybody? We are back on at Hunter x Hunter episode 146. Um, I don't know if I'm more kind of excited for this episode or 148, because I feel like a lot of kind of what's been building up this arc is going to come to the forefront and be wrapped up in this episode, and kind of the overarching theme of the entire anime, at least for our main character. I don't even know if he's still the main character, to be honest with you, but for Gon, his whole entire, the reason he became a hunter and, went through all this, and we traveled to Greed Island, and even the reason we ended up running into Kite and the ants and everything was he wanted to find his dad. And they are literally feet away from each other. I do find Ging's and Pearson's kind of relationship slash what they kind of foresee interesting or what they have a hunch about. I still don't get how they just. I mean, maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's all Pearson went off of, because you saw, I forget the girl's name, how she was like, you put all that down off of just something Ging had to say or Ging had to do. Like, she couldn't believe it. And even me as a viewer, I'm like, wait, so Ging made the comment that his son was going to be okay, and you decided to just go with that? Like, that's what you went off of? And that's what I'm trying to understand with Ging. So then it takes me full circle to, clearly, I don't know if Ging knew the extent or the condition that Gon was in, but for him to be so nonchalant and kind of almost double down on the fact that, yeah, Gon's going to make a full recovery, he'll be okay. Did he know the extent of the situation and what it was going to take? Did he know it was going to take more than just your basic Nen exorcist? Did he know it was going to take something that's not even human? Like, did he know all that was going to fall into place? Like, how did he know what? The question is just how. How is that possible? And then not even that, for Periston to basically double down and piggyback off of that as well. Like, sure, I'll dance, I'll play around. Ging said it was going to happen, so I knew it was going to happen. But then how did you know that he knew that we didn't know? It's just a lot. So we had that, and what I really, really liked to see was we had both sides of the coins, kind of, from me asking about Alluka. I had a lot of people in the comment section, and I had 3 or 4 people direct message me on Twitter. And it was very split, and I like to see the split, because a lot, like with some animes, you just get people that are on one side of the fence, so you really can't have open dialogue back and forth. But I had a lot of you say this was your least favorite arc, specifically for the introduction of Alluka and what she was able to do. I think I had 3 different people say this in this kind of wording. It felt very Dragon Ball-ish, to where, the Dragon Balls just kind of can wipe away anything that's been done. That Alluka herself was the Dragon Balls, and she just came in, grants this wish, Gon is back to normal, and like granted, yes, at least for what I know right now, he's not going to be able to use Nen. But I had somebody say, for a show that's built on such like how everything is always a consequence in this show, like you do something and it's always going to be like a cause and effect, and there's always major consequences. For Gon to sacrifice that much, but pretty much to come out okay. He hasn't been like using Nen for his whole life. Like, how is he going to go on without it, type thing. He was living his life, and he had all these kind of. He was extra, he was the 1 percentile protege before he learned about Nen. He can still be an excellent hunter and be perfectly okay without needing Nen. And he can live his life and do whatever he wants to do. It was just kind of like the easy button, the reverse button. And when I asked that question at the end of the last episode, how did you guys feel when Alluka's character was introduced in what she kind of did for the end of the story, which was restore Gon back to perfect health? From what I know, I mean, maybe we'll find out in this episode, there's going to be no lingering consequences to what happened. He's just going to be perfectly back to normal, and he's basically like gone before this whole anime started. Like when we met him before he met Wing Sun for the first time. Um, it's just back to that. Like the story never happened. Physically for him, mentally. Hopefully he's changed. Um, we'll see what he remembers and what he doesn't remember. But and yeah, and then I asked this about the writer because I know like in Naruto and other animes, they kind of wrote themselves into a corner or into a standstill. And I wondered, I don't know if the writer for Hunter x Hunter has done like open interviews and answered questions. I can't be the only one that's brought this up. There's smarter people out there than me. I know that we saw that there was an extra sibling or there were this many siblings, so it's not like there was an imaginary brother that we hadn't heard of, but it kind of like was. It kind of was, but it wasn't. Because we had seen all the other brothers except for this one. Um, but I mean, at least we saw it in a photo. But do you think the author wrote in Alluka in her abilities after what he wrote Gon's story to be? And he didn't want to, I'm not going to kill off this little boy main character. What can I do here? What can I do? How can I make this, reasonable? And a lot of you say if I read the manga or when I find out at the end of the anime what they end up doing with Alluka, it's going to make more sense that Alluka wasn't a plot device, just to bring Gon back. But then my question to that would be, again, did the author write out Alluka that way at the very end so people wouldn't say, oh man, they just introduced Alluka to just, revert everything back to normal. Of course, they had to write something for Alluka at the end. I guess you could make the argument on both ends, unless we have like words directly from the author. You can argue both sides. Yeah, they gave Alluka a kind of more meaningful, important ending at the story because if they didn't, everybody would just say, "Oh, it's just like Dragon Ball." Did they just everything could just be wished back to normal? And you could have other people say, "See, they gave Alluka a meaningful ending so that it wouldn't just be Dragon Ball all over again." So I see both sides of the fence, and I'm glad to see the open dialogue because usually in some animes, especially like well-touted ones, um, if you ask a question like, "Did you agree or disagree?" People are like, "Nope, I thought it was perfectly fine." But I had a lot of you say, Hunter x Hunter's your favorite anime. It's got the best power system, all that kind of stuff. But you saw it as an ass pull. You didn't hate it, but you took it for what it is, and you didn't think it kind of like made sense and was kind of like the easy way out. I had other people say you were okay with it. But it's good to see we had argument on both sides. I'm, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I will say I was like wrapped up in the Luca storyline to the point that like they captured me with the story along the way that it didn't hit me till like it happened that I'm like, wow, you know what? That was really fucking easy. But along the way, I was interested in like the requirements, the rules, the restrictions, the amount of deaths. Like I was invested in that. And mainly because it was part of Killua too. And that's another thing, like the fact that the author attached it to arguably the main character slash the best character in the whole entire show. If it had just been like stories of like, and that's the thing, like I don't know what was written first. Are we Star Wars ending? Like he already knew how the ending was going to go and just wrote it in as he went, or did he write himself out of a corner? Because the fact that it's connected to Killua makes it like that much easier. If Ging or somebody had said something like, "I know of this. There's a rumor out there of this being. We don't even know if it's human or not, but we know it has the ability to grant any wish." And people are like, "Any wish? Yeah, any wish, regardless of like what it could be." And then like we went out, like Moral and Leorio and the others went down and found this being that can grant these wishes. The fact that like the author connected it to Killua, it's like, oh, how convenient. The one of the main characters that cares for Gon the most, like this is gonna work out great. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know how I feel about it. I had said for the longest time, I want to see Gon have consequences for what he did because, like you guys said, this Hunter x Hunter has been a really big show of consequences, and like this leads to that, which can lead to this, and like you have to live with that. Um. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I need to see kind of what happens, and then the same thing again, like jumping off that a little bit with Ging, he wanted Gon. Well, as far as we know, he wanted Gon to find him. It wasn't going to be easy. But if he stuck, like he did stick around, he had told Homegirl he was going to leave, but then he decided to stay. Did he know if he stayed that he was going to run into Gon? Like, did he know this whole time? Like, that's the thing. I don't know what Ging does, what he knows and doesn't know, how he does the things he does, what mystery this man is. Um, but he had to have known if he stuck around, if him and Pariston were kind of on the same wavelength, that Gon would be healed, Gon would be okay, and everybody would see it, and you would be in the room. And there's no way you're going to make eye contact with that man and like run away, right? So I'll be interested to see this interaction, what comes from it, and what the person Gon is, because we haven't gotten inner dialogue of Gon or really seen Gon as a person. I would say since maybe his fight with Knuckle, and maybe even before that, we haven't really deep dove into Gon since Greed Island. Really, it's honestly been Killua and other characters. Gon kind of got written out there as far as like getting attached to the person that Gon was mentally. I don't know if that was done on purpose to make you conflicted about how you felt about Gon when he raged and turned into this like sociopath. Um, but let's just see what the little kid's got to say, what he thinks of his life at this point. And we'll go from there. All right, episode 146. We are minute 45 in, titled "Chairman and Release." And yeah, who the hell's becoming chairman? I have no idea. There's no point for Leorio anymore. He doesn't even want it. Wow, yeah, we got a lot to address here. We're only going to do this a couple more times. Wow, that's wild. We really reached the end of this journey. Crazy. Minute 45, pressing play right now. Here we go. I saw the cold opening. They're literally standing in front of each other. He says, yo. That's all he's got to say. Yeah. Yeah, what? How is Kite a little girl? I still don't know what the hell happened. Oh, and you guys make a great point. That power surge, which makes a lot more sense to me why Illumi was so infatuated with it. It wasn't leftover power from it wasn't leftover power from Gon. It was Alluka's power. And I like that explanation a lot more. I hope that it was, if you know. Anytime I see an anime now of somebody bawling, crying like snot nose, I'm gonna think of Komogi always. This isn't the fact that they're having this conversation in front of hundreds of people. That's so weird, like seeing Gon. We haven't seen this man not be raged, pissed off for 20, 30, 40, 50 plus episodes. Don't let it happen again. Yeah. We're gonna apologize to the friend that's been. Wait, that's it? I was about to say, gone. Or is he gonna leave? Right? That's what I'm saying. This dude is They're like, I heard about Green Island. You couldn't take everybody in that room, I don't think. But to say, who the fuck is gonna be chairman? Don't vote gone. He's gonna tell him to hurry up and get out of there. He's trying to get one up on her. Oh, I was about to say, he just what? Did he just lie about everybody? Yeah, whoever Gone votes for, everybody's gonna go vote for. Oh lordy, he knows Leorio can't do that. Barristan wins in the end. She has no leg to stand on. There's no way she comes back from that. Nobody is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Come on, buddy. Bring that ass. It's so weird. Yeah. They're gonna keep giving this man shit. It's just so weird. Like, there's only 2 episodes left. I can't picture. I can't get the image of Gone being normal right now. I just can't. It's just I can't. I feel like I'm watching like before Heaven's Arena happened all over again. What? So if he doesn't want to die, that number, that thing that came out that we never got to see in action, will always come out. That'll always be the draw. Why not just have that come out all the time and be rather safe than sorry, bro? These people are they're dead. It's so weird to picture Gone as like the kid taking the hunter exam again. I feel like nothing's happened. We're just back to normal. He won. What's the announcement? He's gonna resign. That's easy. He wins, resigns, gives it to the chick. He's like, I just wanted to prove I could win. Here, y'all take this shit. Wow. You just like to play the game. Is he sad he's dead? They liked the back and forth. Wow. I don't even know if he's acting, if he's being truthful, but the only emotion we've ever seen. He actually is sad he's dead. Well, she won. She got what she wanted. He's not chairman, but the fact that like he's had his way the whole time. Not only that he'd win, he took it. That I don't want it. You take it. Dang, Killua's not there. We got to get to this man before these next couple episodes end. I need to apologize. No shit. It's so weird to see him nonchalantly just talk about what happened with the ants and everything else. Leorio, you would have been of no help, man. Don't worry. Then with characters like Palm, oh god. Is she just gonna stay like that for the rest of her life? This. Holy shit. Hmm. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, fingernails were the price for the computer. I'm just as confused. My theory is correct. Playing dead and the pat on the head weren't requests from something. Thus, the two-choice wish didn't require payment. So she can make wishes without being something? Alright, let's hear it. One, because the wish was simple enough that something's power wasn't required. Okay. Just like I said, she can make the wishes without having to. Because it wasn't a wish. However, there's still an unresolved question. Yeah, how Killua is able to bypass everything. Request from something. Yeah, Alluka can make wishes, grant wishes herself? Or. Then something wasn't awake? Killua shouldn't have been able to make. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's. Yeah. Yeah, again, and then something did respond to the wish. So how did he do that? He was commanding. Hmm. Oh, fuck. Is he talking out loud? You can command Alluka to fulfill wishes, and something will grant them? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Like, let me use her. You can stay with. Oh god, and the whole family seeing this shit. I just want to see Silva's reaction. I don't care about the mom and Miluki. Because I feel like his... gonna make a wish. Make a wish that I never want you to use your powers again. Oh god. I was about to say, we're at a standstill here, because Killua could wish for that man to be dead. Wow. I mean, it works for now. He really is. He can make commands. So he can just straight up tell her commands without fulfilling any requests. So he just pretty much bypasses everything. Oh shit. But then like he has to stay by her side for the rest of his life. She's gonna be sad. She fell asleep. Killua is the main character. But like, how do we know that that's? I guess because I don't know that it's. Is it that simple as far as like something comes out when it wants to make request, or how do we know that nothing's ever going to be triggered again that's going to make something, come out? Oh fuck. Bro, you better figure that shit out before I don't know if she could just start rattling off whatever she wishes by herself. Could Alluka make wishes to something? I don't know how deep it goes, like how deep down the rabbit hole this goes. I got a lot of questions for that. Like the flip back and forth is wild. Here we go again. It's like they share the light. Whoever wants to sit in the seat just takes it. This is just wild. It was so creepy seeing something talk too. Did they go with that nose animation again? Huh. They've never done that before except the last couple episodes. Mm. And the fact that Alluka and something are aware of each other and aware of each other's emotions, and she looks so much more sad with that's how it's animated. But a bad big brother. Yeah. Kilu is that dude, man. Oh, they listened. What was the restriction on him? Oh no. Can we go back and see what the family looks like right now? Oh, damn. Clearly they were listening in. Um, I would love to see Silva and Illumi. I mean, I don't know if anything is going to ever sway that man. Illumi's just Illumi is his own dude. Um, I don't know if and when and how you sway that man, but like I don't know. I'd love to see what Silva and the mother think. Like I forgot what was the restriction that's on Kilua. The restrictions as far as like what the reason the bodyguards are following them, the butlers are following them in the first place, like rescinded those restrictions. It looks like the mom has had a change of heart. A change of heart referring to what though is the question. Now I don't know. Say Silva and the mom. I don't know who outranks who. I would think Silva, correct? But if Silva or the mom said something along the lines, basically, if Silva or the mom gave Illumi a command, would Illumi honor that? I would think he would, since it seemed like this whole time the reason he was trying to get rid of this whole thing was to protect himself and the family. If Silva or the mom said, you're not allowed to use Alluka, or you're not allowed to contact or touch her, or use her for your own whatever gains, would he honor that? I would think so. But like Illumi said, Kilua is basically invincible if he wanted to be. As long as he has Alluka. And why does that apply to Kilua? What is it? I don't know what condition he made with her when they were younger or what happened, but why he can give her a command and it just work. And it looks like to only be valid to him. I don't think anybody could walk up and any other family member. So it looks like all rules bypass him. So my thing is, because again, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't fulfill any request right before he asked for something to heal Gone. He just asked for it, like issued the command, and she did. And then kind of, so it's like he's operating on his own plane up here, and everybody else that makes the request and the wishes and the requests and the wishes are like on their own plane underneath him. So like we're all moving along like this. Kilua can command whatever he wants, and everybody else. It's not like Kilua puts a break in that chain anywhere. Um, because like Illumi said, a request for the nails is way too extreme for like a pat on the head. So everybody's operating under the same rules right here. The request, the wish, the bigger the conditions, request, the wish, bigger the requirements, request, like everybody's just on this. And Kilua at any time can do whatever he wants. and it doesn't affect that timeline. I think if Killua asks to heal, if he asks to destroy, if he asks to tell, like whatever he asks, it does not affect what's happening underneath. So if the requests are going to be extreme down here, it doesn't matter if a low wish is made, it's not going to reset. Like Killua can just get away with whatever. Why that is, though, I'm not sure. There's not really much to discuss as far as the beginning of the episode. It's just kind of Ging and Gon's back and forth. I wonder if they're going to have another conversation. I mean, there's only 2 episodes, so if they're going to have it, they're going to have it. I wonder what happens in that conversation. We kind of saw Gon just spill out, like apologizing about him being weak and him being a bad friend and what he in the position he put Kite in and all that kind of stuff. And he got that cry out, he got it out of him. It looks like he kind of realizes that kind of after everything that's happened. But I still feel like I need a lot more from Gon before this anime ends. Like he says, he needs to apologize to Killua. He said some bad things, and I just want to know what he thinks of himself and what he's been through and the things he did. Just like saying, "Oh, I need to apologize to Killua. I'm sorry for what I said. Forgive me." Killua scolds him, and then they joke it off and laugh it off and go skipping. It's like, that's it? Everything you did, the actions you took, the things you said, you threatened a little girl's, like all these things, and it's just going to be forgiven in like a 45-second back and forth. You apologize, Killua scolds you, they play some like good sad tune over it, and that's it. I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to end, so we need to see what happens with Gon. Cheadle's son is now chairman. Is Periston, does he want to fill in as her vice chairman? Because I don't think he has a title right now. He went from vice chairman to then he resigned and made her chairman. Or he made her vice chairman, resigned, and now she's chairman. And it looked like he really cared for Netero. That was cool to see. Like I still wish I could have gotten inside his head just once, but I feel like we did there at the end. That was us kind of like, there's been this wall put up with him. Like all we see is what's on the front. We never got any depth with him. We got a little bit there, kind of seeing his emotions and stuff there at the end. Like he really cared for that old man, and he enjoyed the game, the cat and mouse, the back and forth, making things difficult for him. And it looks like he's upset that he's dead, but I wonder like how deep does that back and forth, that cat and mouse, the game go to where had maybe had the Zodiacs out there or requested some other hunters or a backup or a different squad, things maybe could have gone differently. Netero, like there might have been other ways to set off a bomb or accomplish what they did without Netero having to sacrifice himself. Maybe if he had a gang with him or all the Zodiacs and other hunters, maybe they could have found a better way to kind of restrain Miriam and still trap him in the same space and maybe have it explode and then not having to have it. Who knows? I'm just saying, like, did Periston have to make the game that deep that it led to Netero's? I mean, we don't know if what Periston's actions led to Netero's death, but we also don't know what would have happened had Netero had more help. So I wonder, like, how deep did that game have to go that you had to kind of like get in the way of what could have been? So it was interesting to see the Periston stuff. I don't know what to make of the Gon and Ging stuff yet because I hope that's not all the interaction we get. Ging just kind of like, saying a few inspiring words. Gon's like, okay, I'll be back later. I don't think that's going to be it for them, so I'll have to hold off judgment in discussion for that. The Periston stuff was great. And then kind of everything that happened at the end there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't really care. Like, you can just keep giving it to me. Killua is the best character in this entire anime. You might have your favorite, like, Nen abilities or whatever you have to say, but I just really find it hard, like, how you can say Killua is not, from beginning to end of the entire story, 1 episode down, 1 episode to begin, 148 down. That man has been the best. To the point that we actually saw, like, the butler showing emotion, and I really, really want to see, you know how they were showing back and forth between Maluki's computer room, like, throughout this has been going. I was hoping that they were going to show the butlers crying like they just did, and I wanted us to go back to Maluki's computer room and see. We know how much of a dickhole Maluki is. Maybe he would have been crying or had some emotion. And the mother, and she said she removed the restriction. I don't know what the restriction is. I'm sure I've missed it. There's been a lot. I'm trying to understand Alluka. It's hard for me to remember every other restriction and what applies to like the butlers. Like, you can't leave their side, slash don't say this, slash we'll bring you home, slash request what applies to Kilua. There's a lot going on with that story between what applies to the butlers, what applies to Kilua, what applies to Alluka. What are there's just a lot. So I don't know the exact restriction she said no longer applies to Kilua, but I'd love to see them go back in that room and see the family have a conversation without Kilua there, even if it's 10, 15 seconds long. Like, they're still going to be assassins. I don't expect them to change their way of life, but like, does Illumi think like, okay, I won't use Alluka, It is part of the family. Does Silva think that way? Like, what do they make of the entire situation? Is what I want to see. And just kind of how he was able to how Alluka was aware of. I mean, I attribute it to like multiple personalities. If you've seen the movie, oh god, not Glass. What was the one before that? Oh shit, what is it called? The one before Glass? Split. Yeah, Split. I think that's the name of the movie. Where the guy's got the 21 personalities, and the personalities take turns with the light. Pretty much picture a chair that sits under a light, and whatever personality is sitting in the chair, that's the one that's to the forefront. So that's how I picture Alluka and something. It looks like they are clearly they're aware of each other. Alluka said she felt the emotions. Why is she sad? What did you say to her? Apologize. Clearly they have something going on eternally with the two of them. Are they aware of each other? They know what each other can do. Can they just easily switch? I mean, just right there, it was something back to Alluka, back to something. They were easily able to like switch back and forth between who was in the light there. And that's what I was saying. Like, Kilua has to stay by her side for the rest of their lives, because if somebody gets a hold of her, how do you keep her from just making requests? Because she looks like she does it. She doesn't have to be prompted. She just does it. Like when we saw Subone for the first time and all of a sudden she was like, Subone, give me your fingernail. She wasn't prompted. People just showed up and she just asked for that. So how Kilua prevents that from happening if he's not by her side for the rest of his life? Because he says he wants to protect her, So how does he protect her? He doesn't want her to be used. Like Illumi said, he wanted to use her. He doesn't want that for her. So unless he stays by her side, and if anybody tries to, take her or whatever, he just like barks out a command, disappears, makes them explode, whatever. How does he prevent that from happening? We'll see. But solid episode. Agree. I mean, it was great. The arc has been great. I don't know how I feel about the Alluka storyline, the kind of like snap your finger Dragon Ball, wish everything back to normal type stuff. But what they've done with the Zoldyck family, the intertwining and the emotions, what they've done with Kilua's character, that I've really, really enjoyed for sure. And we'll go ahead and leave it at that. This should be Wednesday's video. Friday, episode 147. And then Sunday, we will go ahead and end this thing off right. I'm going to have a live stream. I'm not sure what time yet. I'm thinking it's going to be late afternoon, like 3, 4, 5 p.m. Eastern. So it should be a good time for people in the United States. It'll be just the middle of the day. And it shouldn't be too late for people kind of in Europe, Asia countries. Yeah, solid stuff. Again, feel free to leave the comments, questions, concerns in the description. In the comment section. Help us get to 6,000 subscribers, and we'll go from there. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,